So I thought I'd spend some time talking about how to build a Twin Suns deck. Twin Suns is the multiplayer format for Star Wars Unlimited, and there's two big differences in deck building. First, you get to have two leaders at the same time. You also get a base, so you can basically build out of three aspects if you want. Now, I could have doubled up on a yellow blaze to be able to play Cunning, for example. But the other big difference is that you're only allowed to have one copy of every card in your deck. So doubling up right now doesn't seem quite as good because I could literally only have one copy of Cunning in my deck. So this is the first one that I've ever sleeved up. It's a Han Chewie deck. And the idea behind the deck is basically that people won't really want to attack me because of all the sentinels in the deck. So literally this whole side right here, everything here either is a sentinel already or can become a sentinel with Chewie's ability, uh, greatly decreasing the likelihood that my opponents are going to want to swing into me. Like any multiplayer game where every man's out for himself, you there is kind of some intrigue and some negotiating that's going to happen, right? So people may target you a little bit if you have more sentinels, but I think more than likely they'll try to get their friends to attack you so that they can just attack base and keep their units on board. Yeah, so that's part of the rationale for all of this stuff. There is some resource acceleration in here. There's Ezra for maybe a little extra card draw. Some restore from Yoda. In this game, restore seems to be phenomenal because at the game ends once someone is eliminated, and then you finish the round, and the winner is just whoever has the most health on their base at the end. So if you can restore off a bunch of damage, kind of at the end, then I think it's a good thing. Now, if people see your restore on the table, they're probably going to plan for it. And I actually think that playing blue might be you might have slightly more of a target on your back because of that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So all these sentinels basically try to prevent people from attacking me. Uh, then my plan is basically to get Chewie out, right? So I have a resupply over here. I'm only allowed to have one, and hopefully I can get that or get Han going such that on my turn where I'm on 5 resources, I'll use Han's ability to put in a 6th resource, flip him, attack with him to get a 7th resource, and then I can deploy Chewbacca. And on that turn, I'm hoping to turn Chewbacca into even more of a nightmare, right? With things like Electro Staff or Entrenched or whatever it is. So this whole pile is basically here to turn Chewbacca into even more of a nightmare so that my opponents don't come after me. This pile is a bit of removal to keep things fair. Honestly, I'm not sure that these two really had a home. They were just wanted some big units in case my Chewbacca plan goes south. Our restored arc I put over here just because, kind of like Yoda, it's restore that folks can see, and so I think you'll probably lose it. You probably can't count it for too much. And then this whole pile over here is what I'm kind of referring to as my surprise pile. Uh, this is what I'm hoping is going to help me to win the game. So, like I mentioned, healing is just huge, right? Especially healing that your opponents can't see coming. If they think that you're behind, and then you play a cargo juggernaut to heal 4, uh, that can be a pretty big deal, especially on the last round. Uh, I think so. Right now, I've built this with very cheap cards. I think maybe the only rares were Obi-Wan and U-Wing reinforcements in the whole deck right now. I actually think that. Oh, I've got the Electro Staff too. I actually think that when I sleeve this up to play for real, I'll probably throw in a Vigilance, even though I would have to pay 6 for it because I would be missing a blue aspect. That heal 5 from your base is just nuts. So I think it'd be worth every bit of 6 resources. Not on an early turn where folks will just deal 5 to you, but at the end. And then some other pretty big game-changing cards, right? So an ambush with an overwhelm that can sneak in a win. More ambush, disarm to deal with someone else's big sentinel. Waylay, a surprise strike is a great way to close out a game, end it the round that we want it to end. Outmaneuver is phenomenal. We're not doing a whole lot of attacking in space. We're really just trying to prevent people from attacking us in space. And then U-wing reinforcements, right? So maybe, depending on how things go, on that same turn that I'm deploying Chewbacca, I might play U-wing reinforcements. And on that turn, if I'm playing U-wing reinforcements, I'm probably picking out a bunch of little units, and Vanguard Ace is going to come in and probably be pretty big and scary. It could be that we go with upgrades on Chewbacca instead, but that's my basic game plan. I think it's fun, to have Han and Chewie together. We can bring Chewie out to ruin our opponent's day way earlier than normal. And I'm really excited for the format. So I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to seeing what other Twin Suns decks people come up with.